Hello and welcome back again, Coffee Beans. This is agricultural machinery and equipments. Definition of terms. G&H. Gang. Set of concave discs, which is mounted on a common shaft and separated by a spool. Gang angle. Angle between the axis of gang and the line perpendicular to the direction of motion. Gang angling mechanism. Mechanism by which the gang angles are adjusted. Gang axle. A shaft on which a set of concave discs are fitted. Garden ride on tractor. A self-propelled machine. Designed and advertised for general-purpose garden work. Gasket. A layer of material used between machined surfaces in order to seal them against leakage. Gathering width. The distance between the center lines of the uttermost divider points. Expressed in meters to the nearest hundredth. Gears. Are machine elements that transmit motion by means of successively engaging teeth. Gear tooth. Each of the projecting parts of a gear which is intended to ensure, by contact with the teeth of another gear, that one gear turns the other. Gear type pump. A pump which uses the spaces between the adjacent teeth of gears for moving the liquid. General purpose tillage implement. Implement performing functions simultaneously that of initial cutting, breaking and pulverizing the soil. Governor. A device for controlling the speed of a prime mover. Grade breaker. A special mechanical device attached to an earth-moving machine to change the normal grade line. Grain losses. It include all losses attributable to the machine. Grain output capacity. The maximum sustained rate of grain discharged from combine's clean grain elevator at which the processing loss level. With the combine in field operation on level ground. Grain ratio. Ratio of grain to harvested crop by weight under the same moisture content of straw as grain. Grain seeder. Planting equipment used to deposit seeds in the soil for food production. Grain straw ratio. The ratio of the weight of the grains present in the panicle to the total weight of the grain and straw in the same sample. Granular applicator. An apparatus consisting of a hopper, a metering device and a device directing the granules to the specific target area. Granular flow. A type of granular applicator that uses an adjustable orifice to regulate flow rate and an agitator that assures constant delivery of granules to an adjustable orifice and prevents flow when operation stops. Granule flow rate. Mass of granules flowing from a metering device per unit time. Expressed in terms of mass per unit time, kilogram per minute or pound per minute. Granular applicator. An apparatus consisting of a hopper, a metering device, and a device directing the granules to the specific target area such as a row, bank, bed, or base of plants. Gravity flow. A type of granular applicator that uses an adjustable orifice to regulate flow rate. Gravity hopper. Device for receiving and directing material into the rotating flighting without power-driven components. Grinder. It removes metal by abrasive action. They are used to sharpen tools, shape metals, prepare metals for welding, and remove undesirable metals. Grinding machine. A machine tool in which an abrasive wheel is used as a cutting tool to obtain a very high degree of accuracy and a smooth finish on metal parts. Ground clearance. Minimum vertical distance between the soil surface and a potentially obstructing machine element. Grounds maintenance tractor. A self-propelled machine, designed and advertised for general-purpose grounds maintenance work. Grouser. The portion of the track or belt that extends into the soil for the purpose of developing traction. Used interchangeably with lug and cleat. Guarding by location. A hazard is guarded by location when it is guarded by other parts or components of the machine that are not themselves guards, or when the hazard is beyond the safety distance. Hammer mill. A machine using rotating or flailing hammers to grind material as it falls through the machine or rests on a stationary metal surface. Hardening. The process of heating a piece of steel to a temperature within or above its critical range and then cooling it rapidly. Hardness refers to the ability of a material to resist penetration by another substance. Hard wiring. Permanently installed wiring on a self-propelled machine that connects with and works in concert with permanently installed wiring and lighting on attached implements. Harrows. Tillage implements used for seedbed preparation and in some cases light surfaces cultivation after the seed is planted and before or after the crop emerges. Harrowing. A secondary tillage operation commonly used before seeding which pulverizes, smooth, and firms the soil. Operation which pulverizes, smoothens, and makes the soil ready for planting. Combine harvester. A machine that is used to gather matured crops and at the same time thresh it ready for drying. Harvest residue. Material other than grain discharged from the combine including weed seed, head drive or top drive, when final drive location is at the discharge end. Header. The portion of the combine comprising the mechanisms for gathering the crop. Headland. Unplowed soil at the end of the furrow strip. Head stub shaft connector between flighting assembly and head drive or head bearing. Heel. The portion of the bevel gear tooth near the outer end. Helical gear. A gear wheel of a spiraling shape. The teeth are cut across the face at an angle with the axis. Helix. Curve whose tangents are inclined at a constant angle to the axis of the cylinder. Helix angle, acute angle between the tooth trace and the generator of any imaginary cylinder or cone coaxial with a gear whose tooth trace is under consideration. High clearance sprayer, an apparatus consisting of the components of a boom sprayer mounted on a self-propelled vehicle with a frame constructed to permit the vehicle to pass over both short or tall plants with minimal damage. Hill drop planter, a type of row crop planter which is designed to deposit one or more seed in a hill at equal interval. Hitch, the portion of an implement designed to connect the implement to a power source. ASAE, device for connecting to a towing vehicle. Hitch assembly, structure made from attaching and or supporting the implement. Hitch point, articulated connection between a link and the implement. Hobbing, a method of making molds for the plastics and die casting industries. Hoe opener, a shank-mounted narrow, vertical or forward curved tool with pointed or rounded leading edge. The seed delivery tube is attached to the rear of the shank. Hold-on type, a type of thresher where the heads of the cut crop are fed into the threshing drum with the lower part of straw being manually or mechanically held. Hollow cone nozzle or disc core nozzle. Disc type hollow cone nozzle. A cone spray atomizer that directs most of the liquid to the outside of the conical spray pattern. Two-piece nozzles of this type are generally referred to as disc core hollow cone nozzles. Hopper bin, a bin equipped with a conical hopper having a center discharge opening. Hopper bin storage capacity, rated peak storage capacity of a bin plus the capacity of a conical hopper. Hopper fed type, type of corn sheller wherein the ear corn are fed into shelling chamber by gravity. Hopper slope, the slope or inclination of the hopper measured from the horizontal boring mill, a machine for finishing holes where the cutting tool revolves on a horizontal axis. Horizontal clearance is the distance measured between specified points on adjacent plow buttons. Horizontal disc row cleaner, a concave disc blade with smooth, sharpened circumference and shank-mounted residue deflectors to remove surface residue and or soil from the row area. Horizontal friction whiteners are often called jet or pneumatic peelers. These machines use the friction process in which the bran is peeled off by friction of the rice grains. Steel hullers are also used as friction-type whiteners. Horizontally laminated assembly, an assembly primarily designed to resist bending loads applied normal to the planes of contact between individual layers. Horizontal pump, a pump with the shaft normally in a horizontal position. Horizontal split case pump, a centrifugal pump characterized by a housing which is split parallel to the shaft. Hose end sprayer, an apparatus designed to be attached to standard hose, consisting of a handheld container for the spray mixture with an integral metering head through which water from the garden hose flows. The metering head utilizes water pressure, siphon effect, or some other water-powered means to meter the spray mixture into the water stream which is then atomized. Hot rolled iron bars are often called mild steel bars in rectangular, angular and square shapes are useful in bench metal work. The bars can be pounded, twisted and bent into many shapes. Mild steel is often used as replacement for wrought iron because it is less expensive. Hot rolled steel plate, hot rolled product supplied in cut lengths and produced by cutting from a coil rolled on continuous mill. It has a width of at least 600 mm and a nominal thickness of 3 mm minimum. The edge of the sheet may be either trimmed or untrimmed. Hot rolled steel sheet, hot rolled product supplied in cut lengths and produced by cutting from a coil rolled on a continuous mill. It has a width of at least 600 mm and a nominal thickness of less than 3 mm. Hydraulic ram, device that uses energy of flowing water to lift a portion of the flow. Hydraulics, that branch of mechanics or engineering which deals with the action or the use of liquids forced through tubes and orifices under pressure to operate various mechanisms. Hydrodynamic bearing, a bearing where fluid is drawn into the region between the moving parts of the bearing by virtue of its adhesion to the surfaces of the bearing and of its viscosity and due to the shape of the bearing surfaces. Pressure is generated within the fluid, which keeps the bearing surfaces separated. Hydrometer, a test instrument for determining the specific gravities of liquids. Hydrostatic bearing, a bearing where the load is carried by fluid pressure generated outside the bearing. Unlike in the hydrodynamic bearing where the load is sustained by fluid pressure self-generated by the bearing. Hope it helps. Thank you again for listening. Please like, subscribe and comment your suggestion on topics you want to hear. Links of previous topics are stated in the description box below. See you in the next part. Bye. Rar.